Thanks, Paul. Thanks, everyone, for being here today. It kind of almost seems like the opener. You go play a game, not have a game for a week. So great to be back into game week, and I think the guys are rested, recharged, ready to go. It's a special weekend for us. Our honorary captain, Ed Tunnicliffe, obviously, with the big run back in the 49 Rose Bowl to win the game, and we're going to honor he and his teammates on Friday, and Ed will be our honorary captain. And then on Friday is the NU Hall of Fame. And obviously, my great teammate Sammy Valancisi being inducted is something I'm so excited for him, and couldn't be more proud of a great guy who, as you now look as he's moved forward in life, is just incredibly successful, but even more importantly, just an amazing husband and father. So really happy for him and his family, and we look forward to celebrating that with him. But it'd be great to be back on the field, and looking forward to getting back out there. Obviously, sour taste in our mouth with the last result, and hopefully have a great week of prep. So how about some questions, please?
Fitz, what all do you know about UNLV? What should the fans expect?
Well, when we started studying him in the offseason, we were really impressed with all three phases. Coach Sanchez built a powerhouse program when he was a high school coach there at Bishop Gorman. He's now on year 5, and just when they have been clicking offensively, spread offense, up tempo. Armani Rogers had I think, just great run there when he was healthy last year. Was awesome in the opener, and very athletic, big kid, 6'5". Just a big young man, and really athletic, and can make all the throws. And Charles Williams has really been impressive to watch on tape, rushing the football. They're physical up front. They've got really talented skill on the outside. Defensively, they're multiple in what they do. They present a lot of problems in a 3-down structure for your rules, and they play incredibly hard. They've made big plays, explosive plays in the kicking game when you study them, because they've got very talented athletes. So had a great game in the opener. They were dominant, and then stubbed their toe a little bit against a very good Arkansas State team last week. But, coach's fingerprints are all over it. This team's tough. They're physical. They run the ball, and, they've got a lot of RPO to what they do. That was just at the end of the game. You see coach's comments. I know he wasn't happy with the offensive performance. I know a little something about that, so I'm sure we'll share those pleasantries pregame.
It's on at that food fair on Thursday. You mentioned that you'd been talking to Clayton, and you went down memory lane with what you're going through now with Hunter. What were those memories?
You're not allowed to quote me anymore. You pay way too close attention, Skip. All right, seriously. I mean, I'm telling you, journalist. I love it. First of all, I just really proud of Clayton. Not a yellow brick road start to his NFL career, but he'll respond to it, and he's in a great situation with an unbelievable organization. And so I was just calling him to check in on that, just like I did. Reached out to all the guys that made teams, and I'm really proud of all of them. And we were just talking about freshman year all over again, and he's kind of going through it again as a rookie. So that's kind of what the gist was. Are you trying to go deep thoughts here on me right now? Okay, go ahead. Feel free.
Play each play and play. Don't think too much. All that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you'd like to hope you do your thinking during the week as you prepare, right? I mean, that's kind of the goal, and that's our goal as coaches, is to put our guys in as difficult of a situation in practice as we can. Make sure we're putting together a game plan that our guys can execute and go play freely and play fast. And, it's chicken and egg, right? Which comes first, confidence or experience? And I think I would say both. I think you got to be pretty confident. Sometimes you got to fake it to make it. At least that's what I did 14 years ago. It worked out decently. It's what I did in 1995. It worked out okay. So, and then all of a sudden you make some plays, you win some games, and you get confident. So it's just a process. I think everybody goes through it. Remember, what was your first story? Big story. Joe Namath. That was a pretty big story. I know, but that's a big story. I'm sure you were just so well prepared that you made no mistakes in your prep or in your writing, or you look back at that and you go, oh my goodness, what was I doing? It's the same thing as an athlete, right? I mean, you just go through growth, and that's what it is. And every opportunity that you have a setback is an opportunity for you to grow. And, the issue you have with society, right, is people are so afraid to fail, right? Again, it goes, I'm not going to go on the soapbox again on my feelings about social media, but it's like, look at my wonderful life, but then reality is not that way. It's the truth of life. You have to go through challenges to improve, and you've got to embrace that. And it's never perfect. And, so I think I'm seeing where you're going with our quarterbacks. And I think Hunter learned a ton. Like I said, I was really proud of the way he responded in the second half. I thought he played outstanding in the fourth quarter. There are some things he can still obviously do a lot better, but I saw him gaining confidence and just playing. And again, he had not started in a game since high school. So it was good to get him back out there.
Is there any one thing he should be doing now to succeed?
Make sure he catches the snap. That's really important. I saw that was a challenge on Sunday football for some punters and other people across the country this week. They just go do what he does, have fun, enjoy the heck out of it. He's going to get better, just like every player does through experience. He's going to get better, and we have 100 million% confidence in that. If that's actually a word.
Coach, defensively, you talked about how this team, runs the RPO heavy scheme. You've had some colorful words about those RPOs in the past. You guys have at times struggled to defend them in the past. So do you use this type of game as sort of not necessarily a tune-up, but a step one in the process of defending those RPOs when it comes to Big Ten play, or do you have to separate opponents?
Yeah, no, I mean, again, we see it every day from our offense when we're in spring ball and training camp. So, I mean, I think it's just what do they do? How do they do it? How do we need to align to be properly in position to defend it? If our initial game plan doesn't work, then what's our adjustment plans? Schematically, most people are doing a lot of the same things, where you're going to see downhill run plays, either inside zone cut, no pull power, inside zone read stuff with the quarterback. And, there's slants typically behind it, or a bubble throw, or a quick slant or a go and a speed out by number two. Everybody kind of runs the same stuff when it comes to the RPO game. And you just got to defend it. It's one thing to be in position. It's another thing to make plays. So, we got to defend it.
And then offensively for you guys, I'm going back a little ways to talk about the Stanford game, but, really seemed as though Hunter came into his own running the ball down the stretch in the second half. Was that the initial game plan for you guys to get him involved running that football later, or was it just
no? It would have been nice to have some offensive plays, right? I mean, we had 15 plays, I think, in the first half or something like that. Yeah, well, we script just a smidge less than that, so we never really got going with a lot of things that we had planned, just because of our inability to be efficient and move the chains. So, just again, working through with a new quarterback and now new quarterbacks, plural. To learning them too, learning how do they handle in-game situations, how do they handle a game week. Again, you try to prepare for all those things, but until you go through it, it's lessons learned, and you move forward and you get better.
That inability to, kind of run the plays that you wanted to run early in the game, did that sort of limit the passing game just because you weren't able to develop the way you wanted to?
I think it limited the offense completely. Yeah. I mean, 15 plays is tough to get into rhythm. We'll run more in one period of practice tomorrow, so just got to pick up first downs and be efficient.
Coach, you've had some success here recently with your D tackles. Obviously, a couple of those guys playing up north. But Alex Miller is a guy who had 4 tackles at Stanford. Yeah. To me, it seemed like from 9 stories up that he had a really good ball game. Can you talk a little bit about him, that position, and your D-line?
Yeah, Alex played really well. A guy who's been playing a ton of ball for us. I can't believe he's already a senior. It's crazy how fast it's gone. Just really worked diligently this offseason to get bigger and stronger and get his conditioning level to where he could play consistently. And I thought, especially in a hot day out there, that he handled it really, really well. We rolled a bunch of guys like we plan to do as long as we can from a health standpoint. But Alex is, if he keeps going the way I think he's going to go, he'll be the next guy in that line of really, really solid inside guys for the belly of our defense.
How would you spend your Saturday without having to coach a football game?
This Saturday? Yeah, I was very fortunate. My son Jack had a game Saturday, so I got a chance to go watch him play in the morning, which was great. I don't get a chance to do that very often in the fall. Dad's a little busy, so I think I got 3 more opportunities to see him play. So he played well, and the team won, which was more important than anything. And so that was a lot of fun to be a dad, and then hung out with family, and watched some ball, and laughed at everybody else making mistakes. It's actually kind of fun. It's kind of fun.
What games did you watch, and how do you sort of decide what games to watch?
Yeah, I typically watch, first of all, Big Ten games. Of course, I'm going to do that. I want to see our brothers play and see what they're doing and how they're doing. And obviously, some games were a little closer than others. So the ones that were closer, I'm a fan, right? So I'm watching as a fan. So I was watching those games. And then, had dinner and had some friends over, and we watched some of the nightcap games that were really good too. So fun day of football. I can see why people enjoy the game. I'm not in a hurry to enjoy Saturdays in the fall as a fan, but at some point I will. I can see why people dig it. It's fun.
I don't have to tell you that Saturdays in September at home with students not here, the place can be dead. Mm-hmm. Is there anything you guys can do? And do you warn your players, hey, this might not be the best atmosphere, you got to deal with it?
Oh, we create the atmosphere. That's the bottom line. Your play creates the atmosphere. And so for us right now, it's a Monday. It's how you prepare. It'll be rocking on our boundary, and that's all that we can control. And we'll have a lot of fun, and the guys will enjoy it. We talked at length. I don't know how many guys, JR, like 20 guys stood up that'll be participating in their first college game on the sideline. So I put a little video together for them to show them what my expectations are. We got to coach everything. So, we'll see. We'll grade it. We'll grade them. Strength coaches are in charge of that. So we'll have some fun, but, it's obviously our only game at home without the students. And then 2 weeks from now, obviously it'll be a completely different environment for the rest of the year. So it is what it is. One of the huge benefits for Northwestern football players is the quarter system. Not being in class until after, 3 games typically is a huge advantage for our guys mentally as much as it is physically, because they can get rest, they can recharge. And so that's a big advantage for our guys. So we look at more at the positive, and, it should be fun. No, he is not. Alex is not an advantage for us at all. He's actually a pain in my neck. No, he's great. He's the best. YouTube sensation. Just ask him; he'll tell you.
Coach, you talked about how much you like the week 2 bye week, especially after the way that game against Stanford went. But now you go into the stretch where you have 4 straight games, including those last 2 road trips against divisional foes. How do you kind of keep your team rested and ready to travel in those last 2 weeks coming off of 4 straight games?
Yeah, I haven't put any thought into it, to be honest with you. Really more concerned with getting ready for practice tomorrow and putting our game plans together like we do every Monday. You look at those macro things before the year. We've got it all scripted out and all planned from a practice standpoint, and then you got to get ready to adjust. But work with sports scientists, work with our strength coaches, our athletic trainers. I've mapped every practice out all year. I've done that now the last handful of years, and same thing when we get into bowl prep, spring ball. Everything's done specifically for a reason. So, we've got a plan for that, but that's not our focus right now.
And how do you look at where your special teams are now? You have the big punt return against Stanford. You also have a new kickoff guy this year. Obviously, your punt game was pretty strong.
Yeah, I think from a standpoint of our personnel, I thought our guys that are on the units performed incredibly well. We had an explosive punt return that was close to being a touchdown. We had a kickoff return that was close to being a touchdown. We're kind of one finish block away from popping both of those. I thought our guys covered the kicks very well on kickoff and also punt. But we've got to be better at specialists. We've got to make field goals. We've got to kick the ball off better. Again, we had a young guy kick on Saturday, and again, first experiences. And as I told him after the game, hey, listen, man, it's going to get better from here. So I think he's really, really talented. But we've got to kick the ball better. We've got to kick field goals better. We was just a little off to the right. He's bad eyes. Got to keep his eyes down through, just like our golf game again. Here we go. But we punted it really well, and I thought we returned it really well. And then we obviously get the big block field goal by Trevor Kent. So I thought we were pretty solid.
It looked to me like there were a lot of guys coming in free to the quarterback in the Stanford game. Was that a communication problem, Fitz, or how do you see that?
Talking about O-line?
Yeah, the defensive front of Stanford was in there pretty quick. a lot of blitzing, I guess, or how did it seemed like they were coming free? And
You might be
was it-
jaded by the last play. I thought they were pretty good. I thought we had pretty solid protection all day. There were a couple times that maybe a guy got a one-man breakdown. That's going to happen, right? I mean, that's the name of the game. But I thought, from the most part, most of our protection was pretty darn solid. You know, we had a communication issue at the end, and then we threw a no-hitter on the backside. That obviously can't happen. But I thought for the most part, that group, first time going out collectively together, was fairly good. I mean, Stanford's a good football team too. So I mean, it's not like we, played a team that averaged giving up 60 points a game. So, it was definitely a challenge.
Fitz, is it an ongoing battle at place kicker with Charlie and Drew?
Not right now. No, I mean, we got great confidence in Charlie. He's kicked the ball really well all the way through camp. I mean, I was really surprised not to see that one go through. He's been really consistent. He's healthy for the first time in a couple of years, which is great. But came back every kick last week, made them all. I'm assuming he'll do the same thing. He's been at a really high percentage throughout all the training camp. Kicked it really well in Kenosha, which usually in Kenosha, that's where kickers go to meet their maker. It's sometimes a little undulation that makes it a little challenging for your plant foot.
And what have you learned about Hunter and his personality since the Stanford game?
Yeah, he just walked in. He's great. I mean, I think he's really unflappable. I think he's got all the great qualities you want in the personality of a quarterback. I think he's learning every rep. I think he's also able to go on and play the next play. And again, a guy who's been in a bunch of different systems over a bunch of different years, it's just going to be every day, every rep, an opportunity to improve and get better. And that's the way he's embraced it. And that's what I would expect him to do. So he's doing a great job from that. And I'm fired up to watch him play his second game here. I'm really excited. I can't wait to see it. I know he is too.
You said on Thursday that Bowser and Williams are both running around. Are they full participants at practice right now?
They're running around. Yeah. Injury report comes Thursday, but I do appreciate you asking. And I will continue never to answer. But you can ask. Huh?
You said they're running around.
Yes, that was a question. I answered it. Yeah. I promise you I will not be honest. Is that okay? I don't know. I'm just that's the fun part about my job. There's nothing from the league office that says I have to, so why would I? I guess I should. Never mind. I'm sorry. You want specifically? No, it ain't gonna happen. Nope, not in college football. Sorry. Different deal on Sundays.
Anything else for the head coach?
Yes, go ahead.
You mentioned celebrating the 1949 Rose Bowl
Yeah.
team. How important do you think that team is in both the history of the team, and how do you sort of bring some of the younger guys on the team who probably don't know about them?
They don't know who Walter Payton is, all right? To say 1949 Rose Bowl for our guys would be like their great-grandparents, right? So I'm not going there, Skip, all right? You went there. When you sit there and you really, truly think about guys that are playing on our team right now, it's 2019. So if they're a freshman, they were born in, 2001? Is that right? Am I doing my math right? Something like that? Okay. Joe Montana? You want me to keep going? Jim McMahon? They don't know who any of these people are. And you guys in your world have more information in a day than my dad got in a lifetime through that thing. I'm not going to even get it. I'm not going there. So you are inundated with information that does not matter. Instead of understanding the truth of the game, history of schools, the list goes on and on. So am I going to waste a lot of time explaining about the 1949 Rose Bowl team to a bunch of 18 to 22-year-olds that look at Instagram? No. Will I send an Instagram post and they'll look at it? Yes. And that way they'll learn. It's unbelievable. If I do a whole PowerPoint presentation, they'll halfway fall asleep and away we go. So you just gave me a great idea. We're going to put out an Instagram post on a 1949 Rose Bowl team, and I'm going to educate the squad. But I'll hopefully have Ed and some of the guys around it. It'll be great for us. I mean, I think Hank played then. So it'll be good stuff. Thanks a lot. Go Cats. See you.